usually at a time like this, we'll talk about different events or different groups that we speak of in our district, and I'm still doing that. But today, I want to take a different tack. This is the first time we've met as a board since the horrible attack in Israel, attack perpetuated by Hamas. But I also want to talk about the concerns I have about the rise of anti-Semitism, not only around the world, but in our country and in the state of Arizona. But first, regarding the attack by Hamas in Israel, I found it to be a brutal, horrifying attack that shocked the world. These were families who were asleep on a Saturday morning and were brutalized in the most horrible ways. Stories that even I cannot even stomach, and I read every single news story that's out there, but these were just beyond reprehensible. And I also know that people in Maricopa County are hurting, and people in District 2 are hurting. And I was very proud one night I was driving on Scottsdale Road and Camelback Road, and I saw a whole group of folks standing on the corner waving Israeli flags, and people were honking at them, showing them support. And one night I was driving home, and there was a family walking down my street, a husband, a wife, 2 children, all 4 of them carrying Israeli flags. And I stopped my car and I rolled down my window and I expressed my support to them. The wife started crying and explained what they have been through. It has affected many families. But that attack has also caused many ripple effects, including a 6-year-old Muslim boy who was senselessly murdered here in this country. Horrible. So let's all remind ourselves that we're all human and we're all God's children. But regarding the rise of anti-Semitism, you know, I grew up and I was in middle school when I read a book by Elie Wiesel called Night. And that book just really astonished me, what he went through as a child living in a concentration camp. And we read Anne Frank's diary, a brilliant young lady who was cut down too soon. And when I was in college, I went to the Dachau concentration camp in Germany. And that also had a tremendous effect on me. And the phrase that we heard growing up was never again. And I really thought it would happen never again. But what we witnessed recently was the largest attack and murder of Jewish people since the Holocaust. And what I'm concerned about with the rise of anti-Semitism is that anti-Semitism hasn't happened for decades. It hasn't happened for centuries. It's been going on for millennia in all parts of the world. And we have to teach our young people that this is wrong. And what I'm really concerned about is when I see images today on college campuses, on streets, in parks, where anti-Semitism, where I thought a couple of decades ago was verboten, where no one would talk about it, no one would dare speak about it publicly, except for the far fringe elements. But now it's being openly accepted, and it's accelerated by social media. And now people are willing to admit that they're anti-Semites, and I think that is very dangerous. Every generation must do its part to fight against anti-Semitism. And what I've also seen, unfortunately, is elected officials working in that space. And it's not just in one political party. I have seen it in both political parties. The fringe elements of both political parties have taken part in this, and it's incumbent upon the rest of us, if we have a bully pulpit, if we have a microphone, and if we have neighbors and we're regular citizens on the street, to tell them to stop it and to cut it out. Anti-Semitism has no place in Maricopa County. It has no place in Arizona, definitely no place in my political party, and I certainly hope it doesn't have a place in the other political party. So we must be cognizant of that, and we must recognize that. It's incumbent upon us all to speak out. And I just want to close with a quote from Anne Frank, where she wrote, "I cannot imagine how people can say I am weak and then remain so. After all, if you know it, why not fight against it? And why not try to train your character to be stronger?"